Alright, so I wanted to do a short tutorial on how to use some of the functions of the wiki. And to be honest, I am not an expert. I've basically learned what I have by playing around with it. And I've seen that a number of you have already done some really great work with the wiki. So that's really encouraging. I imagine you were playing around with it as well. A couple things. This top bar right here is ways that you can play around with the font. And so to enter font, you would just click your cursor somewhere and go typing. And then you can highlight it just as you, oops, I did that wrong. You can highlight it just as you would if you were using Word, and you can play with the font style, or you could play with the size if you wanted to make a really big header. This icon right here has different colors if you wanted to make it bold. So you can do a couple different things. This top bar works very much like any other word processing software. Now I have asked you to insert some images, maybe to insert some multimedia. So in order to insert an image, you would go right here to this image icon. And you can either paste in the URL from the internet, or I tend to save an image to my computer and then upload it. So I have this lovely picture of chickens right here. And sometimes the images are just huge and you don't want an enormous picture. So you can play around with the size. I don't have any good rules of thumb. I tend to just type in a number that looks good and hit OK, or in this case it's insert, and just see what it looks like. Now for this purpose, 180 seemed like it's a perfectly good size. Now maybe you want, instead of it being in the center, maybe you want it over on the side, or instead of on the side, maybe you want it on the center. So you can right click, image, alignment right here, or that's for the words. Click on image, and then appearance, right where you would play around with the size. You can also play with how the text aligns with the picture. So the one that I originally had was flush left. You could also do, if you wanted something in the top or in the middle. And like I said before, I tend to play around with things and just see what they look like, and that's another way to learn. So you can move it around. I think you can also just move it like that, but sometimes that's a little frustrating. Excuse me. I'm going to delete this picture. Now, something else you might want to include in your wiki is a link to a video, and there's different ways you can do it. One very low-tech way you can do is to just insert a hyperlink, and that's what I've done here. I have the text, and then you would highlight it, and then go up to this icon that's a link. So that allows you to insert the hyperlink. And here you would just type in, or copy and paste more likely, the website that you wanted to link to, or maybe the video that you wanted to link to. I'm going to cancel that out. Another thing that you can do is use the mashups tool right here. And so that's what I did in this area. So I found an example of my intervention method, which was a small peer facilitated group. And by looking on YouTube, I found a video that I thought was really worthwhile to demonstrate what I was talking about. So to insert that, and you can, in the finished product, you can see it's embedded really nicely over here. What I would do is go to Mashups, and then click on YouTube video. You can see you could also do a SlideShare presentation, a Flickr photo, montage. But YouTube video is pretty straightforward. And I can search for the video right here. So let's see, peer facilitation smoking, and hit go. And then it brings up the various things that I knew that I found. Another thing that you could do is, if you already found a really good video, you could just copy the title and paste that into the search term. So this is the one that I like. I could either preview it, but I'll just hit select. And then it pulls up this screen. I can either give you, my viewers, just a thumbnail view of it before it actually shows up, or I can embed the video. So in the first example, I just did a thumbnail, and then the other example that's over on the right, I embedded the full video. I'm going to cancel this because they are already up. So this is the thumbnail, and this one over here is actually embedded in. So I will show you what that looks like in just a moment, and you can go either way. Obviously, you look here, you can see that there are many other tools, and if you already know how to use those tools, feel free to use them. Honestly, I don't yet know how to use the tools, and I also worry that trying to present you with too many different techniques would just be overwhelming. So the main things that I wanted to show you are just the basics of text, because that's the key thing that we really need. A little bit about images, which will give your video, obviously, or sorry, your wiki more visual appeal, help to understand. I saw that some of you have pasted in images with graphs to demonstrate the outcomes of similar interventions. That's great. And also to give you an indication of a couple different ways that you can embed a video, because sometimes a video is a nice way to demonstrate what you're doing. If you do have questions, I'm back from vacation now, so I can certainly answer them. You're welcome to text me or call me if you have specific questions. But I really do look forward to seeing your wikis. The ones that are up so far look really great. Keep up the good work. Bye-bye.